The quality of the viewing experience is, and as how it pertains to ads, is probably the single biggest issue that nobody's paying attention to. Obviously our company is all about improving that quality. For us, that means, video that is free from interruption, no buffering, no stuttering, and at the highest definition possible. And what we find is when that experience is good, people watch twice as long. They watch more content, they come back more often, and that means they watch more ads. In fact, what we found is that we have a pretty big vantage point now. We do about 2 billion streams a month across major media businesses like HBO and ESPN and ABC and Vivo. And across that set, what we found is that if people, about 20% of streams are unoptimized, meaning they're not as good as they could be. We think there's more ads that are not as good as they can be because the technology is not as well developed to deliver ads. And if you take the viewers who have an unoptimized experience, they watch half as long. So the relationship is very clear. It's quality equals more ads and more viewing. The most important measure is how long did they watch? So we bias our algorithms and all of our real-time optimization based on the propensity to drive a longer view duration. So basically, how many more minutes will they watch and how many more streams per unique. In terms of quality metrics, we look at percentage of time spent in buffering. We see a huge dividing line at the 1% mark, believe it or not. Small numbers matter. Every 1% of a time that people spend in buffering is a loss of 4 minutes of viewing. So those are some numbers that we use. We look at rendering, did you see stutter, frame rates, all kinds of technical stuff, but all that really matters is if you optimize that stuff, does it equal longer viewing? Across all of our customers that are using all our optimization, we see a minimum of double-digit increase in viewing. Some quite a high-end double digits, and that's serious money. Like typical TV.com, one of our customers, I mean, you're talking north of $350,000 a month of additional ad revenue on one website. So it can add up pretty quickly. Big conglomerate, like a big media family, we're in the multiple millions a month of additional ad lift. So just from the increased impressions that are generated from longer viewing times or more streams per unique. So it adds up pretty quickly. In the last 12 months, across the major premium media businesses we serve, we see they've crossed the line. Over half of their streams are now outside of the browser, meaning they're on a connected device, a platform, mobile, gaming console. So in 12 months, whereas 80% was pretty much in browser a year ago. So just in 1 year's time, we see that type of shift. Agencies have to pay attention to it. What makes matters worse is that the platforms are fragmented, right? Every platform's different. The video formats are different. There's not as much sophistication as what grew up over time on, say, Flash. That all has to be addressed. For us, it's an opportunity because it needs to be optimized. For agencies, it means that there's more complexity in producing for different platforms, but you can't alienate those audiences because most people watch on not just one single platform. They're watching on more, and multiple. Now we're actually taking the fact that we use real-time measurement of every viewer every second to help drive other efficiencies in a digital media business. Those can be better content targeting, so we can use the real-time viewer data to do targeting of content, what you'll like next, recommendations. We see it for ads, obviously. One reason we're at this conference is because we did a study around ad engagement specifically due to quality and the loss of it, and we found that, ads themselves are less tolerant. People watching ads are less tolerant to bad quality. In fact, a buffering during an ad has a 3 times higher propensity to be abandoned than if it was content. So we know there's a big opportunity there as well. But we're launching new products in the area of using real-time data for content targeting, for ad targeting, also for subscriber management for TV Everywhere businesses. So the example is you have a pay-per-view or you pay a subscription or you're getting it through your cable company, you're paying for it as part of your monthly bill. When it doesn't look good, you're going to call somebody. When you call someone, that call center agent doesn't know what to do. Do they have to rebate you or whatever? So we give them tools to help manage that interaction better. Well, the biggest thing we found is that we believe that 20% of all ads don't play as they were intended, meaning they take too long to start, they have some kind of an issue with quality, or the creative's less desirable, but no matter what, people abandon before they finish. That's a big number. And we think it's that pervasive. We also found that there's a unique affinity between ad creative and content creative. And so so content brands who want to maximize it have got to be looking at the experience in the content and through the ad and back to the content. We found that some ads, they get completed. People watch all the way through, 96% of the time in certain shows, right? But only 70% of the time in other shows. So being able to detect that in real time and react to it actually has an opportunity to lift business. The third thing we found was that there are problems in just simply playing ads because it's complicated. The technology is complicated with ad networks, ad exchanges, ad proxies, all this stuff that has to go right. In fact, it's more complicated than delivering the content. And when even a small percentage goes wrong, it has a multiplication effect in lost viewing and lost future ads. We saw that on one particular broadcaster that 1.8% of the time the ad had an error. Now it's not a big number, it's less than 2%, but because those are pre-rolls, had that not happened or had it been protected, it would have led to 6 times more ad plays. So being able to react in real time, thinking about the content and the ad together in unison, thinking about the experience, that leads to better lift. And so we're betting our company on that we can actually help preemptively make the adjustments needed to keep that experience great. What we found is that ads perform differently in different content types. Live, short form, long form, episodic versus full length, all have different tolerances to length of ad, 15s versus 30, different tolerances for when how many pods in a pre-roll versus mid-roll. So I think first and foremost, we believe you got to use real-time data. You got to look at the engagement of the content and the type of content, and use that in real time to determine what is going to have the highest probability for completion on the ads, and use that to drive your ad decisions. There's a lot of companies out there that do yield management or behavioral targeting or ad optimization, but they're focused on ad servers. They're focused on campaign management. All that stuff needs to be done. I think what is really needed that's not being well done is intelligence that is about both the content experience and the ad experience, using data to drive decisions.